Hey everybody. Hey everybody. I'm Pagan Tech. And we're here with another session of Roundtable of Fools. Some of us are nincompoops, some of us are idiots, and tonight we have Green Bear. He's over here, this way. We have Tommy below us, and we have Jerry Formal down here in the corner, right there. We plan on talking about the time we stayed up the longest and the reasons why, and what we did on our break last week, along with our usual ramblings. Drop a follow for this channel and a subscribe if that function's working for you. That'll get you a chance to see when I come online and stream, as I never know when I can, due to life and the dying video card that I have. Thanks a bunch.
The saga of the dying video card.
I'm straight. And now, the host of our show, Tommy. Take it away, Tommy.
Thank you very much, sir. How's everybody doing? Hello out there to people in Pagan Tech's stream, and hello to everybody listening on STN Radio. It is currently June 3rd of the year 2021. Got to timestamp it for posterity, eh? See, we're being all professional and whatnot. Anyway, yes, we were off last week, and I was a complete slacker and forgot to rerun anything in the time slot. So if you tuned in to listen to us, well, be fools, nincompoops, and you know what? I want to change. I don't want to be a nincompoop anymore. I want to be a ne'er-do-well. Can I be a ne'er-do-well?
Absolutely. I am on board with that 100%.
So I'm going to be a ne'er-do-well from now on. But anyway, yeah, so that was my bad. So if you tuned in expecting to hear something and heard, well, nothing. My fault. So anyway, thanks for tuning in is what I'm trying to say. So we'll do some quick plugs. I'll go first since I'm on a roll here, such as it is. You can find me at stnradio.com. We have 3 ways to listen. You can download the app from the Google Play Store. Just search for Signal to Noise Radio. You can hit the website, again, that's stnradio.com, and you can click on the player in there. And there's actually a lightweight player that I believe I have a link to on the page somewhere that's still an HTML player, but doesn't involve all the graphics and everything from the regular web page. So a lot of people like to bookmark that on their phones because it just doesn't take up as much memory space on the phone. But anyway, we always appreciate you tuning in and listening, and feedback is always welcome. And you can also hop in the Discord channel. We will. I post that in the social media pages. So we are also adding, as of Saturday, a brand new DJ, an old friend of ours, actually. Her name is JD. She will be contributing a 2-hour show every week, and she will be on Saturday from 7 to 9, right there smack in prime time. She's done radio off and on for a very long time, and I listened to sort of the raw files of her show earlier today, and it's pretty damn good. I'm very excited to have her on board. So it should be cool. But again, that's 7 to 9 on Saturday. And just hit stmradio.com because all the schedules and everything is there. So with that out of the way, Green Bear, make yourself look pretty over there and tell us what you got.
Negative IQ numbers. Does that count?
Yep, sure. Why not?
Okay. Let's see. I've actually been streaming a good bit this week and last week. You can follow me at twitch.tv/thegreenbear. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Warframe lately. Been playing some City of Heroes now that the ban is lifted.
Yes.
And having a good time. And more stuff to follow once we get talking.
Oh, excellent. Nice. Okay. Well, great. I like it. Jerry Formal. First of all, Jerry Formal is newly finished with his high school career. So cheers to that. Very nice. Very nice. You got anything to plug this week or what?
I do not. No, I still don't. Sorry.
Nope. Hey, nothing to apologize for. Yeah, just it is what it is. Pagan Tech.
Well, you could find me gaming at twitch.tv/pagantech, PAGANTEK. However, due to some discussion over the format of this particular broadcast and this particular segment, I've decided that we're going to actually push that up to YouTube. It's youtube.com/Pagantek. Pagantek. Shocking address, right? Oh, yeah.
Shocker.
Right. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, drop us, subscribe and click the bell for notification
subscribe.
when I come in. If you're watching on Twitch, which may or may not actually happen, because I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this to Twitch because of just some of the things from what I discovered, the pre-recorded stuff is really generally frowned upon in the Twitch community. So, because it's not interactive with the people who are watching. That's the goal of Twitch, and I fully understand that, and I get that 100%. So that's kind of what my discussion led me to going to YouTube for. So, hey, if you see it on Twitch, then you're a rare commodity, because I probably won't play it on Twitch. But if you see it on YouTube, drop subscribe, click that bell for notification, etc., etc. Thank you.
I actually need to activate the YouTube channel for Signal to Noise because, you know, when you create a new email address at Gmail, it creates a new account. And then because Google owns YouTube, you're automatically able to create a channel in YouTube. And you got to verify yourself and all that mess. But I need to do that because I want to post. It's not going to be anything to do with music, obviously, or very little to do with music unless I'm just talking about it. But
Right.
like I'm going to make a video for my setup here on the Rodecaster and just some more techie stuff, really, than having anything to do with music. So and I'll have to advertise that and whatnot. But all right, well, cool. So since Green Bear has been just itching, he's just bursting to tell a story over there. We will start with him. He is in my upper left-hand corner
there's
anyway.
a salve
so
for that.
yes, make a topical cream for it.
That's right.
Green Bear, tell us I'm sure, lurid, I was going to say lucid, that's not the right word, lurid story about the longest you've ever stayed awake, either intentionally or unintentionally, and why you were forced to do this, or why you were not forced to do it and just did it anyway.
Well, I'd like to bring up something before we go any further.
Yeah.
Because it is Pride Month,
Yes.
I went out and I got my very first pop. Now, I own 2 pops, but those were presents. So I went out and got my first pop today. I went down to a GameStop. I had lunch with a friend of mine, and I had to pick up the pop for Ivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Why, might you ask? Because this is the first character that I'm aware of in video gaming that you can choose to play the entire game quest from beginning to end as either straight or gay.
Really?
Player's choice. Yes.
All right.
The entire story can be played with either gay or straight.
Very cool. I had no idea. I mean, I don't play it, obviously, but yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So I will support such innovations in games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not the first gay character that they've had,
Yeah.
Or in any game, especially in comparison to the last one. But that's the first time where the entire story, beginning to end, can be played either way. Let's see here. So, longest time I had to stay awake, versus did stay awake.
Right.
I think the longest time was 4 days.
Wow.
I was
Nice.
wide awake for 4 days. I was dragging ass on the last day,
Yeah.
but I was wide awake. And that was, I'm having a conflicting memory, but I believe it was at the pit, actually.
So
There
was
was
this
just-
like a insomnia, or was this something you did intentionally?
Oh, no. I remember it was Tommy, I'm going to do something. You'll recognize it,
All right.
and that should give you the full answer.
Okay.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Mm.
All I have is banana phone in my head, so sorry.
Who's there?
Mock!
Yes.
I was so excited on my second mock.
Oh my God.
First
Yeah.
one, I was excited for it, but I didn't really understand what I was in for.
Yeah.
But the second mock, holy crap! I was wild, and I didn't sleep the entire con.
Oh,
Now,
man.
to my memory, I think I laid down at one point to
Yeah.
try to sleep, but like you know as well as I do, that con never stopped.
No.
So there was always somebody going in, coming into the room, leaving the room.
Yep.
Did any of us get any sleep? To my knowledge, I didn't get any.
I mean, I probably passed out a few times, but I don't know that that counts as sleep necessarily. But I was unconscious, so
I
Um,
think
Yeah, let me throw some background out there. So Magnum Opus Con, shortened to MOC, MOC is what we called it, was a convention that took place for 10, 15 years, maybe, I guess.
I don't think it was even that long.
Yeah, it was like 8 to 10 years, maybe we'll call it. But
Yes,
it started
yes.
out in Athens, Georgia. It eventually moved to Columbus, Georgia. And then it was in Columbus. The first one I went to was in Columbus, Georgia, and that was Mach 3. And then it moved to Greenville, South Carolina, and it was there for a solid 5, 6, 7 years. And then I think it moved back to Athens for its last hurrah. They did a couple, 3 more, I think, in Athens. But this was was like an all-in-one convention. So a big convention, like let's say Dragon Con. It's spread out over like 4 or 5 hotels now, and there's tens of thousands, like 80,000 people there at the last big one.
Dragon Con,
Yeah, 70,000. Yeah,
7 hotels.
oh, 7 hotels. Wow. Okay. Yeah, and
It's
they were
monstrous.
yeah, and there were like 700 or 800,000 people. I mean, it's insane. Magnum Opus Con Mock was held in one hotel. There were probably, what would you say, 400 or 500 people in attendance at the convention? Maybe more than that.
There was
Not
more than the entire hotel was booked solid
Yeah.
a couple of times with just the con goers.
Yeah.
And then like my first time, I went with you,
Yeah.
and we were at a different hotel. We weren't at the host hotel. But ever since then, I always try to get in the host hotel.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's you don't have far to stumble home when you're drunk. You don't have far to go to attend all the parties, to go to the con suite, to go to just anywhere. It's all in one. It's all in one central location, which is nice. But that that convention was insane because, like Green Bear mentioned, it went all night long, all day long for 4 days. I mean, and it was just nuts, like the whole time. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
One of my favorite stories from mock, and I believe it was the second mock that I went to. When Tommy says that this was nonstop, he's not kidding. There were movie rooms that were going 24/7 for the entire length of the weekend. There were events, there were dance parties, there were interviews, there were panels. 3, 4 in the morning, it's still going. It never stopped.
Yep.
One of my favorite memories is a Star Trek memory. They had one of the events they had was called Breakfast with the Stars.
Oh yeah.
Now, overlooking the main atrium, the main open area inside the hotel was a balcony that actually stretched out into the main atrium above the crowd, and that balcony was a restaurant. So, me and a couple of friends went just to we didn't go. We ended up there, just kind of staggering around. Oh, I want to go to sleep. I'm a zombie. You just can't sleep. So we ended up going there just to see what it was like. You didn't get to choose what celebrity and it was a celebrity. You didn't get to choose who you got to have breakfast with. But this was 2 a.m. And my friends and I, we were just in line going, I wonder who it's going to be. I wonder who it's going to be. This should be interesting. I got to have, it was me and two others. We got to have breakfast with Nichelle Nichols.
Oh, awesome.
That is too
And
cool.
I must tell you, lady does not do her justice. She was phenomenal. And when at one point she went up to go use the restroom, and the three of us were like, we were all like, let's not bring up Star Trek. Let's not bring up Star Trek. Let's talk about something else. Let's not bring up Star Trek. So she comes back, and I forget what we were talking about. And at one point, we all invariably, these always happen. The table falls silent because everybody's eating or whatever. And she just stops and says, "Why haven't any of you asked me about Star Trek?" And we told her, we're quite sure you're probably tired of it, of hearing that's all you ever get. And she's like, "Oh no, no. Star Trek made history," and she went on this spiel about it. And of course, the three of us were just, just Star Trek, just starstruck, and just started chipping in and asking questions. And I think the breakfast, the actual official breakfast, was like for half an hour, but I know we were there for at least an hour just talking. And she was she's still with us. She is so incredibly well spoken and genuinely warm and friendly. And I wish we'd had camera phones back then, because I would have, God damn, I'd have loved to have gotten a picture with her. She was just phenomenal.
I've met her at a couple of conventions, and she is just always super cool, really nice and accommodating. What?
I got to watch Rocky Horror with her.
No way! Get out of here!
That's too
used
cool.
to play Rocky too. Yeah.
On her first, I think it was that year. There was a group that did Rocky Horror. They did a special edition of Rocky Horror.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was her first time seeing it. And I got to sit right across the aisle from her. And oh my God, she was just, the whole time she was just laughing her ass off, trying to figure out what was going on, but the lines were getting to her and the movie was getting to her, and it was a hoot.
Yeah. Yeah. On the subject of mock and Star Trek stories, I've got a good one. So for anybody who has known me for a while, me and several of my friends used to dress up, I'll call it, in war paint and loincloths and basically nothing else. And we would storm around the hotel on party nights, which at Mock was basically every night, but particularly Saturday night. Saturdays is when the big parties were. And we made this big cauldron of this super alcoholic drink, suspended it between two poles, and made the lower ranking members carry this heavy ass drink all over. And we called ourselves the war party. So we didn't hold a room party. We would just go and invade other people's parties.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I want to now my turn to put a little context.
Yeah. Okay.
See, one of the things that marked Mock, and eventually I think kind of marred Mock.
Yeah. Probably.
Mock was known for being a bit of a rowdy convention, but they had on Saturday nights what they called the party battles.
Yes.
And on Saturday night, if you were on, I think it was room floor, if you were on the third floor, which was third floor. That's right, because it was above the second floor, which was the restaurant.
Yes.
The third floor, if you were on that floor, it was understood you are going to be putting on a party.
Yes. Or
And
if you were in a room on that floor, you were also under the understanding that it would be loud all night long, because nobody ever was on that floor.
Absolutely. So if you were on the third floor, you're going to be having a really long, rowdy, fun weekend.
Yeah.
And there were prizes for worst party, deadest party, happiest party, goofiest party, just you name it. They came up with prizes.
A lot of times the guests would be judges, and they'd go from party to party and do the judging.
The party that no one remembers.
Yeah.
Damn it, Tommy, I was trying to get to that.
Oh, sorry. Well, you were taking too long. I couldn't stand it anymore.
But yeah, one of my favorite party memories in regards to that was not Lance Henriksen. Oh God, I can't think of his name. He's been in so many movies. He almost always plays a bad guy. He was one of the androids in
Oh, yeah, in
in
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner. Yes, you know who I'm talking about.
Brian James.
That's it.
Yeah.
Brian James. He
Brian
was he got to like 5 or 6 rooms, and that was about it. And he couldn't go anymore. He was just wiped.
Toasty.
And oh yeah, absolutely. But anyway, that was one of the big things about Mock. And in time, towards the end, I think this is when Mock began to really go downhill. The party battles took over the convention.
Yeah,
And
kind of.
it became less and less about the science fiction fandom or the mystery. It became less about the fandom and more about who can get drunk the fastest.
Yeah, for those years that it was in Greenville, that was a good balance between the panels and the sci-fi guests and the dealer's room and all that stuff, and balance that out with parties at night and fun and shenanigans. And they always
dances and all of that.
They always did a big LARP there. There was one organization that always had just a huge LARP there that was a lot of fun. And this was at the Greenville. This was still when it was in Greenville. George Takei was at that one. And if you've ever seen George Takei in person, he is an awesome guest. Because the dude is, first of all, dude's hilarious and he's got the best laugh ever. But so it was like late at night and my buddies and I had been storming around all these parties. So we're like, all right, we need to get off our feet. We're all, we were all like super drunk, and it's like, okay, we just need to rest. So the closest open area was the lobby in front of the elevators, the elevator lobby on the 3rd floor. So we plopped the cauldron down, and we're all just like spread out, and we're mixed nuts. And we're all just
cheeses,
nuts and cheeses. So we're just sitting there, all of us sitting around, and the elevator comes up to the 3rd floor, ding, and the doors open up, and in this elevator is George Takei and my buddy Dan. And they are both drunk. That's the drunkest I ever saw Dan ever. Huh. And they are leaning on each other and laughing about something. And Dan stumbles up to the door and goes, "Hey, I know that guy," pointing at me. And George is like taking in the scene because, like I said, we're all not naked, but I mean, we weren't wearing a whole lot. And he's just like, bing, the doors close and off they go. I was like, was that Dan in an elevator with George Takei?
I had not heard that story, Tommy.
What the hell was that?
A few times before. Best thing ever.
And then like 3 or 4 more times. Every time that elevator hit the 3rd floor, bing, and they're laughing and talking about something, and bing, I bet they rode that elevator for a half an hour together. It was hilarious.
3rd floor, half-naked men.
It was the funniest thing ever. But the first time, bing, I was like, was that Dan and George Takei? Are they drunk? Oh, it was so funny. Oh my God, we were crying. We were laughing so hard. But I don't even know how we got down that rabbit hole. But staying awake for 4 days. So that one convention, you didn't sleep the whole time.
I to my recollection, I did not sleep the entire weekend. I was not just the Thursday night. So it was Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Sunday night, you ever had those times where you're just too damn tired to sleep? You can't?
Yes, overtired, yeah.
That was me. Thursday night, I think I couldn't sleep. That's why I called you. Which, by the way, to clarify that,
yes,
that was not just a one-way street. Tommy and I did it. Oh, and I got an expansion on that. There was once or twice Tommy would call me, and it wasn't just Tommy. It was a bunch of our little friends in our little circle.
You would get so amped up about this convention. We would just get ridiculously excited about this convention.
At like 2 a.m, I called Tommy, woke his ass up, and just, he answers the phone. I'm like, Mock! Click. Well, it was me, Tommy, and about 3 or 4 others. We were doing this to each other. My mom heard this story. And she knows, Tommy, you were friends with my mom too.
Yeah.
My mom knows that I love snow. I have a whole thing for winter. And she moved up to Oregon, and of course, there's like a 3-hour difference. And she knows I'm a night owl, or she knew I was a night owl. And at about 2 or 3 in the morning, I get a phone call from my mom. And I'm like, holy fuck. Why is my mom calling me so late? I was scared. I mean, I was like, is
That's
something wrong?
difficult to get in the middle of the night like that.
Right. So I pick up the phone and go, Mom, because like it says mom on the phone, Mom, and she goes, guess what? What? It's snowing. Click. I did it just to piss me off.
Oh, that's much
Oh,
easier
man.
with smartphones these days. But back in the day, you had to you had to put some effort into it. You couldn't just pick up your phone and snap a picture. You actually had to call somebody. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome.
That
There's
was
effort
great.
behind slamming the phone down.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
didn't involve broken screens.
I mean, literally, we would call each other any time of the day and night. And then hang up.
Like,
My mom was like, "Who called at 2:00 in the morning? I don't know. Prank caller, wrong number. I don't know.
Yeah.
Prank caller. Click. Cool. So, Pagan Tech, what sort of story do you have on this? So-
Okay. I hope the two of you have got funny stories to tell as well. Because I'm going to bring the tone a little bit more somber.
Okay.
Well, I guess to start the story, it was the summer of 1990. I was in A school for the Navy, and we were finishing up our training, which is the primary training that leads you to placement in the Navy. So some people get trained on being a deckhand. Some people get trained on electronic warfare. I was trained in gunfire control systems. That is the computers and math that lead the round to where it needs to get to, the gunfire solution. And at the end of the school, in the A school, there were 14 graduates out of like 29 that started. We whittled it down. 7 went to, we had 2 different duty stations. 7 went to the Wisconsin, the USS Wisconsin, which is a battleship. And the other 7 went to the Missouri, which was another battleship. That's the only slots that they had for our class. And so we took that. We had seen that things were getting a little warm over in the Persian Gulf area, but nothing was really crazy yet. We got shipped over to San Diego. We had 12 weeks of training on the Mark 38 gunfire control system. That's the actual computers built in the 40s that controlled the main 16-inch guns of the battleship. It did the gunfire solutions for up to like 28 miles away, and the drift of the round as it rotates, and the up and down motion of the ship and sideways, and the pitch and yaw of everything. I mean, the math was just crazy. I loved it. It's definitely up my alley. But these computers, these are 1940s computers. They're synchros and servos and gears. There's not a diode in it. The most advanced thing they had were tubes. And as we were getting closer to graduation out of C school, things were getting really warm in the Persian Gulf. They were getting quite aggressive. They pulled the ships, both the Missouri and the Wisconsin, into the Persian Gulf about the same time that we were getting ready to graduate. We flew from San Diego, California, to Kuwait, to Bahrain, and we went. This is the opposite sides of the world, right? So we went to Norfolk, Virginia, then we went to Rota, Spain, and then we went to somewhere else, Saudi Arabia, I think, and then landed in Bahrain. We stayed at a little place called Brown and Root Compound. I'm not sure if that's the place or the company that was actually in charge of that. It was like a private contractor company. But we were not allowed near the fence. We weren't allowed to wear our uniforms. We were civilian clothes only. We stayed there for a few weeks while the ships were getting close or being pulled back from the front lines so we could get helicoptered over. So it was probably the end of January when myself and two other sailors took Hilo over to the Missouri. We left and we landed on the Wisconsin, stayed there for lunch, and then about 2 hours after that, we jumped over to the Missouri as the Wisconsin was going up to the front and the Missouri was pulling back from the front. At this time, that was full-blown confrontation. They had fired Tomahawk missiles. They had 100 some odd rounds already fired. And so that first day that I joined the ship, there was a call at general quarters. I'd say probably 9 p.m. And I went down to my duty station, which was called Forward Plot. It's down in the bowels of the ship. It's where all of the computers and everything that controls the gunfires are. And we stayed there at general quarters for a couple hours, and then we pulled off. And then they started training me on what my actual position was. My training was to coordinate the gunfire control systems and the remotely piloted vehicles, or the drone pilots, as they're called now, but they didn't use that term back then. We would use the cameras on the RPVs to get coordinates and to see what was around there. We used thermal cams, and also to see the damage that our rounds did. As our rounds would come in, our rounds are so big, you could see them come in on these cameras. I mean, they're 1,900 pounds of high explosives, 16 inches around, and probably 5.5 feet tall. Then they're ballistic, so you can't shoot them down. You fire them and they will go to where they are going, and nothing can stop them. So that's what my position was coordinating between the pilots and the actual people who were firing the guns. I got a chance to fire the guns a couple of times. But at the end of February, the Missouri went on station and went to a general quarters. The general quarters lasted for over 4 days. Most of the time I was awake. I think the one time I clocked a little over 72 hours manning the cameras. And everybody knows about Desert Storm and Desert Shield. We were partaking in Desert Saber. We were rattling the saber to make the Iraqis think that the Marines were attacking from the south, when actually they came in from the north. We were the saber. We fired 600 plus 16-inch rounds over the course of that time frame, and we had gas attacks. We had missile attacks. We got shot by one of our own ships that was shooting down one of the missiles. We had like 4 or 5 Sea-Whiz rounds cut through our superstructure. When we got done with general quarters, I was in chemical gear, CBR gear, chemical, biological, radiological, and inside is charcoal. It's to try to keep things, charcoal. Charcoal does all kinds of neat things with chemicals and radiological stuff. It also rubs off on your skin when that's what you're wearing. So we were quite charcoal covered. And first thing I did was I went and took a shower to get the charcoal off, and then I crawled in my rack and I slept for 18 hours. We had done what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the inside scoop to battleship life. And been kind of talking over with some of my doctors at the VA, and they're saying that I need to process some of this stuff. And so part of that processing is I need to talk about it. So
Yeah. Well, to me, never having been in the military, because I know Green was for a while, and obviously you were. Now my grandfather was a World War II vet. My dad was a reservist. So there is military, in my family, but I was never in the military myself. So stories like that and how those kind of things operate are just very interesting to me, because from the outside looking in, you never get to see that kind of stuff. You never get to see like a ship in action, firing and reloading and all the stuff. You just see the stock footage of the ships, blasting away. You don't see or generally even hear about the inner workings of these things. It's just, the Missouri fired 100 rounds at the Iraqi coast, and that's basically all we get. So I appreciate you talking about it for one thing, but I find it fascinating as well. So,
I'll be glad
so
to,
I
and that's something we
appreciate you
can
talking
talk
about
about.
it.
Yeah,
Sure.
something we can do in the future is we can do like, here's what it was like on the Missouri, or stuff like that, and then we can flash
Yeah,
up pictures and
definitely.
stuff.
Yeah, no, I find it very interesting. And like I said, it's not just me, but I mean, it's just not a view of military life that we often get from the outside looking in. It's
Yeah,
just not really, not that it's not talked about. It just doesn't usually come up.
yeah,
It's just like, oh, I served and did this and that and the other thing, and that's usually the extent of it.
yeah. There's a lot of sailors out there, and then within that group of sailors, there's very few what I consider battleship sailors, which is what I am.
Mhm.
The battleship was commissioned in the mid 40s. It served in World War II. The Missouri was the ship that was signed the ceasefire, the end of hostilities for World War II. And that was on the O5 level next to Turret 2.
Oh, that's the ship where the Japanese emperor came on board and signed all the papers and all that.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
that's
the
cool.
one. So this ship has this fantastic history of naval service.
Yeah.
It fought in Korea, and then it was recommissioned in the 80s, brought back into service, and was over in the Gulf War. So as far as ships go, I have an affinity with World War II sailors more than I do with my peer sailors because I've never
Super. That's
experienced
right.
common Aegis class cruiser ship life. I don't know what that's like. I know what battleship life is like.
Right. Yeah, well, I say you served on a vintage, shall we say, ship. So I mean,
Yeah,
you would know that, whereas somebody else who served on a modern ship just wouldn't know the ins and outs of it. So yeah,
yeah,
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I see, and even things like that are super cool too. Because I had another guy that I worked with. He was also Navy, but he served on an aircraft carrier. I'm not sure what he did on said aircraft carrier. I don't know what I could probably contact him on Facebook and ask, but he was on an aircraft carrier for I think for most of his career, and some of the stories that he I don't think he ever served in any actions, but some of the stories that he told me about life on board, the ship were just to me just mind blowing, and he was just like, yeah, that's it is what it was.
yeah. That
Um,
was a small facet,
I
probably about 2 or 3 weeks worth of time. Then I was on the ship for over a year, so there's a lot of stuff
oh
stashed
wow,
away
yeah,
in this noggin.
oh for sure, yeah. Jerry, I don't know. Have you yet to pull like an all nighter for any reason, like an all night gaming or just up gabbing with your friends or anything?
Not to my knowledge, no. The longest I ever stayed up though was 26 hours, I think.
That's a good stretch.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in I think it was 10th grade. I was in my school's robotics team for a while, and one of our competitions in town, it was a whole 26-hour thing,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
right. Yeah, I forgot
That's
about that.
cool.
That's
Well,
right.
yeah, I don't even think I got like 2 hours of sleep, but I was still up for well, yeah, at least 26 hours. Pretty
Yeah,
good
cool. I
long
forgot.
while.
Yeah, you guys did that marathon. It was almost like tournament style, wasn't it? Was it like a
Yeah,
big?
yeah. It
Yeah.
was a tournament that we were at. Yeah,
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I'd forgotten that you guys had done that. Yeah, yeah. That was in what, like 10th grade, I think. Does that sound right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, ninth or 10th.
yeah, that sounds about right.
So my story isn't quite as exciting as, say, Pagan Tex or even Greens, but so at this time I was working for a classic rock radio station, and I was working as the technical director at the local theater downtown. You guys know the Imperial Theater. I was a technical director at that time. Well, there was a big show in town, and for generally 1 to 2 weeks leading up to the start of the show, it's what we call Tech Week. So we hang and we focus the lights. We do scenery, make sure that any scenery that needs to be repaired is repaired. We hang backdrops. We do this and that and the other thing. It's all, all the technical stuff, get the sound running, all that stuff. Well, that's always just like an insane time, for any show. You get into the theater at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and you're there usually until midnight, 1, 2, whenever the director for the show says, okay, good to go. And then you go home and get your 4-hour sleep and you get up and do it all over again. Well, this one particular weekend, I had to work the overnight at the radio station. So I got up at probably 6 or 7 Friday morning, worked at the theater all day, got out at like 11:30, went straight to the radio station, worked the overnight shift at the radio station, got off at either 7 or 8, went right back to the theater, worked all day at the theater. I did that all weekend long. I didn't finish up until Monday morning at, whatever time that shift ended, 7 or 8 in the morning. I can't remember, probably 7, probably ended at 7 in the morning. That was an 8-hour shift, so it would have been 8 a.m. But anyway, so I was up from essentially Friday at, say, 6 a.m. until Monday morning at, like 9 or whenever I passed out when I got back home. And literally by the Sunday overnight shift into Monday at the radio station, I was on the air. I was talking and doing stuff. I was hallucinating. I was seeing things in the room that were not there because I had just had no sleep, and it's not like I was just sitting in the theater twiddling my thumbs. I mean, I was, working the whole time, and I would sit up because they didn't have a chair there at the control room in the radio station, and I would just like, hey, Eagle 102, here's a song.
Here's the song.
It was pitiful. Yeah, here's the song. And oh man, that was, but I say not as exciting a story as you guys, but that was a lot. I have pulled several all-nighters at conventions, maybe even like 2 days, but never have I done like, was that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So however many hours that is, I've never bothered to add it up. That's a lot of time to be awake though. And like I said, I was literally hallucinating by my time Monday morning rolled around. I was like, I got to go get some sleep. I think I called into the theater. Like, look, I can't come in. I'm seeing things I haven't slept since Friday morning. I need to go home. So, yeah, I don't recommend it, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering. I do not recommend staying up that long. I do remember several conventions, and this is just like spread out over the years, hanging out with whoever, probably Green at some point, and we'll be like, oh, here's the video room. Cool. Let's go see what they're playing. Oh, cool. They're playing a movie we like. And we'll sit down, and it's like 3 or 4 in the morning. And, like 10 minutes later, we're both, we're both zonked out, and then we wake up.
Sun creeping in the door.
We wake up and there's a whole entirely different movie on. We're like, were we just watching heavy metal? What happened here?
Right?
And people will be like,
suddenly the room's fucking full. Jesus, where did you people come from?
I remember one Dragon Con. I was, because, in all the floors of the hotels, and this goes for whatever hotel, generally you go down the hallway, you've got a lobby area, maybe it's near an elevator, maybe it's overlooking something, but they've got benches that you can sit on and pick your feet up. I remember taking many a nap on some of those benches. I'd be like, look, it's a horribly uncomfortable bench. I think I'll sleep on it. People wonder by waking up, or, you're locked out of the room because either you've lost your key or somebody's in there doing naughty things with the door closed, so you can't get in anyway. Yeah. Oh my, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I remember taking many naps out on the not so comfortable benches, particularly at the Hilton in Atlanta. One Dragon Con, I was locked out and just kicked back and took a nap on a bench for a while until somebody came out and discovered me and drug me back into the room. But that was the thing about Mock. Me and the rest of the guys, we would get the same room on the 3rd floor. And I don't know if you remember it. It was way at the end of the hallway, and it was this really like way back at the end of a hallway.
I remember it.
Yeah, and it was this oddly shaped room. It was big, but it was just weird. It was a weird shape because the hotel was a weird shape. And we would cram like 8 or 10 people in that room, and it would be a disaster once we got out. Because there are like 8 or 10 guys, and we're changing clothes, and it's time to put the war paint on. So we'd get all this makeup stuff that you get from the Halloween store or whatever, and we'd take turns in the bathroom putting all this crap on. And I remember, I mean, and it's all the colors of the rainbow. And I remember Steve Prescott walking into the bathroom one of those times, going, "God damn, it looks like somebody shot a clown in here." we laughed hard. Oh man, we laughed so hard about it. I mean, for years we laughed about that. God damn, looks like somebody shot a clown. Anyway, but yeah,
I
we all
remember that room quite clearly.
I mean,
that
we
room,
literally ended up paying probably $50 each for the room because we had so many people crammed into that room. But
yeah.
man, it's like, I'm claiming this corner of the room, and I'd pile all my stuff in the room, and and any goodies that I'd buy at the deals room, I'd pile in the corner, and oh man, we just had so much fun. It was ridiculous. That was just like 4 days of debauchery and destroying ourselves, our livers and our brains, and just everything else. But
that's what's
remember that
happening.
room.
apparently.
yeah, well, yeah, it certainly didn't help anything. Let's put it that way. Cool. All right. Well, I think, let me see, we've been going for 45 minutes. I think this is probably a good time for a break, unless anybody has anything to contribute further to this. Well, real quick, when is the last time, what's the most recent time you've had to like stay up like all night, like pull an all-nighter for any reason? Do you remember? Because it's been a long, long time for me. I mean, like a long time.
The last time I had to do it was work related.
Oh,
Because I worked overnight at a motel. I was a night auditor.
oh yeah, that's right.
And there was one night I got asked to come in a couple of hours early because the lady before me, something happened. She had to leave early because there were kids or some such. So she called me, asked me to come in. I thought, sure, why not? So my normal shift started at 11 and went until 11 to 6. Before she left, she asked if I could she'd come in after at the end of my shift and relieve me. And then at about like 1 a.m, she asked if I could stay an extra 2 hours. So see, I'm already 4 hours early, and now she's asking me to work 2 more hours.
Jeez,
So
that's a
I'm
long.
supposed to be in at 11. I get there at 6. I'm there until 6, till 8. She calls me again. She can't come in right now. Children, blah, blah, blah. So there's no one else. And so I have to work another full shift until, whenever. I don't remember when it was. But of course, I've been up all the day before that.
Yeah.
And, oh my God. So the work was easy. I'm not really knocking it. It was fun. It was easy money. I loved my job. But, yeah, that was the last time I was up for that length of time without sleep.
Yeah.
I was dragging.
Oh yeah. I don't need, like I said, I mean, I've worked overnight shifts for some of the tech companies I've worked for, which I enjoy actually, because there's not a lot of people to deal with, and you can usually keep to yourself and whatnot. So I don't really count that, but because you adjust your sleep schedule so you're awake at night and you sleep during the day. So I mean, it's it's a regular, at least a semi-regular sleep schedule. I don't even remember the last time I had to stay up for whatever reason. Pagan Tech.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Tommy. There's been many times when second shift, and then suddenly at the end of second shift at like 11 p.m. a server goes down or a node goes down, and next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and the lights starting to come outside. You're like, man, these sons of bitches are still not up. What the hell? But I mean, they just kind of blur together after a time because you just do it enough that you can't really pick out one specific time. Like, sure do remember when that lawyer's office, the lawyer's office and the dentist's office and all these different offices have gone down throughout the night, and we'll get the alerts because that's kind of what we did. We were a 24-hour shop, and some people had until it was 3 p.m. till 11 p.m. and then whoever had the 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. also had the on-call after 11 p.m. And there were several times when like a server would go down, we'd have to start troubleshooting the hardware, and we'd end up getting Dell, or the internet would go down at a location, and we'd get Comcast or AT&T on the line, and dealing with them is a frickin' nightmare. Can't get any straight answers out of them. So it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're still sending out emails. Still no update from the carrier. We haven't heard anything, these bastards. You know?
Oh, man. All right. Well, like I said, I think this is a great place to take a break. Get up. Yes?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you-
down for that.
Before we go to break,
Yeah, go
before
ahead.
we go to break,
Sure.
I have a pun to contribute.
Oh no.
Well, not really a pun. It's just some wordplay.
Okay.
This is our punishment.
Well, last time we did, Pagan Tech was working on some beef jerky,
Ah, yes.
and he kept having to go touch his meat. Well,
Yes, we all remember.
now I'm touching Pagan Tech's meat,
Oh my.
and it's quite tasty. Pagan Tech, and now
Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
putting Pagan
you
Tech's
stamp
meat
his
in my
meat?
mouth.
Oh. So I think when this show goes to a podcast, it's going to have a red band on it. Something tells me.
Okay, all joking aside, guys, Phil's not kidding. He makes beef jerky, and this is a piece of it. It's really good. This is was habanero and what?
Honey habanero.
Oh my god! There's no heat.
Oh,
What heat there? It's like that. It's pleasant. It's just a low burn.
nice.
At no point have I gone, I need water.
Ah, cool.
So, here's to your meat, Pagan Tech. You make some good meat.
Thanks for putting my meat in your mouth.
Oh. Note. I think this is a great time to take a break because I think we all have to be alone for a moment. Never mind. Anyway, let's call it 10.
Sounds good. Switch it over to break.
Sounds like a winner.
See you back here in a moment. Did you say sounds like a wiener?
I did not.
Totally did.
I thought about it.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us. I'm so stoked that you can join us as well. We've had a successful break and hope that you have as well. So let's get into this.
It would be better if we could see you.
Me? What? Can't you see me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
I can
Yes,
see.
you.
Can't see me. Can you not
I
see
can
me?
see you.
I can see me.
I don't see you on this end.
I can see him.
Yeah, I can too.
Well, I see a little picture of him, but it shows that his camera is turned off on my end.
Oh, that's
Turn it-
interesting.
The
Turn it
little
off, turn it
camera
on
with the
again.
little red line through it.
Yeah, no, it's he's showing here. Oh, he just restarted it, I guess.
I'm gonna try to restart the camera. There, it's restarted. Did that work for you?
Nope. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Somehow I did it.
Oh, you paused it on your side. See, that's what I do. Is I do this.
And now I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him?
No,
Well, I don't, he's saying
I wasn't pressing the button.
I see his
Ah.
his face. Oh, there it is.
I had fun with that button.
Yeah. All right, what were we going to talk about? Oh, right. So last week, as discussed earlier, we, because of various and sundry reasons, we had the upcoming Memorial Day holiday. Jerry turned 18. We had a bunch of stuff going on, like all of us had stuff going on. So we just decided, just for the quality of the show and just because, why not? We just took last week off. And then I boned it and forgot to replay an old show that Sunday. So anyway,
I spent the weekend slapping this bitch around.
Oh my!
She wouldn't leave me alone. She wouldn't shut up.
Man, those things are so good.
Little
I know,
Debbie
right?
needs it sometimes.
Yeah. He's been never mind.
Little Debbie.
The first time I saw somebody post that meme, I literally laughed for 10 minutes about it.
Spangled ding dong.
What?
Don't touch
Yeah.
the ding dong.
Anyhow.
Oh my!
So anyway, the point is we didn't record a show last week. And I think we were all kind of in 4 different corners where we weren't certainly doing, Jerry and I were doing stuff together, but the other guys weren't. So, well, let's just start with us then. So, Jerry, what were you doing on that Thursday, the 27th of May?
I was turning 18 and getting ready for the most stressful years of my life.
Yep. We had a small party. We had a friend over. Nothing too rowdy or anything, but we did have red velvet cupcakes, which were really good.
With,
Yeah. With the chocolate cream frosting on there.
Yeah, the chocolate fudge. Yeah.
Or chocolate fudge, right? Yeah, and we actually also had some coconuts. We had some
What?
donuts that had
What kind of party did you have?
Nuts.
We had some sugar-free frosting on some of the cupcakes as well. Still chocolate fudge,
okay.
I think. Well, because Meister came over and he's diabetic, so he can't have a bunch of sugar. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were having 18th party and hanging out. I grilled. Did I grill that night? Yeah, I grilled out.
Mhm.
We just kind of did the thing there. It was fun. I worked from home the next day, so I didn't have to drive in, which is always nice.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing. Like I said, the original plan was to, let's record on Wednesday, and that didn't work for somebody. Oh, well, how about Friday? Well, I'm going to be out of town. I was like, okay, so we just decided to skip the whole thing because say we had the party shenanigans going on for Jerry anyway. So happy birthday once again.
I go.
Heck yeah.
A week late, but
Rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. That was just for you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should feel special.
Oh.
So
I'm very special, all right?
Green, what did you do on your day off last week?
Let's see here. I had this is a happy ending to something that was kind of touch and go there. A very good friend of mine spent a significant amount of time in the hospital over the past 2 years. And he's now good and he's great. And he invited me up for the weekend and we played catch up and just had a good time.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you go particularly far away? Was it a far road trip or was it a short road?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So, 2.5 hours. Not bad.
Yep.
Okay.
2.5
I'm
hours from here.
Highway.
I'm sorry.
I said, I'm familiar with that stretch of highway.
Oh, yeah. We both are. Dragon Con, anyone?
Yeah, well, I mean, plus anytime you wanted to see a major concert, off to Atlanta you went. Major
Yeah.
sporting event, off to Atlanta you went, Oh, visit friends, well, off to Atlanta you went. So, yes, spent a lot of time on I-20 between Augusta and Atlanta for sure. And Peg and Tech, I think I know what you were doing on your day off there, but why don't you expound upon it?
Sure. Let's see here. Thursday. We took both the minivan and the Volkswagen bus to Savannah to pick up the daughter's crap because she graduated college and she had to vacate her dorm. She has a Bachelor of Fine Arts in digital media. I think her major was specifically animation. Is that right? Yeah, animation. I'm getting the nod from my better half over here. Yeah, so that was the thing. We drove in and we got there, picked her up, and then we went to Five Guys and had dinner. And then I think we ended up watching Nancy Drew in the evening before the time turned from midnight to 1 o'clock, and we realized we were still watching Nancy and had to get up for graduation next day. So
I love Five Guys burgers and fries, man.
oh
Ooh,
man,
man.
those are
It's
fantastic.
expensive. They gave man, their food is so good though.
It is. That is top tier burgers.
Does that maybe they do this in all of them, but did you get like an absurd amount of fries when you ordered your food?
Yeah, always. I think we got 2 regular fries for all 4 of us, and we were like, I'm so full of fries.
More fries. Yeah. Actually, Jerry and I went to Johnstown, Pennsylvania a while back. I was I was picking up a dishwasher actually. And we're like, oh, there's Five Guys. Let's stop and have lunch. And I told him, I was like, order the small fries. Trust me on this. Like, okay, so we both ordered little cheeseburgers and the small fries. And we just basically combined
2
our
small
french fries.
fries.
We couldn't finish them. We could not finish them. There were just too many.
I think they probably would have given us a whole bag of them if we had the large.
Well, they use a scoop and dump them in, and they usually just get like at least another handful and just chuck them in the bag. Just
So I don't know if this is going to show up, but while I was driving down to Savannah, it was very bright and sunny. I don't have air conditioning in the bus. I have a window that stays open. So I had my arm out of the window, and I realized when I got down there that I had a bad sunburn on my arm, only my arm.
Oh,
yeah, you can see 2 kind of different colors there. Yeah, you got the trucker's tan on that one, don't you?
I bet that feels good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. There it is.
One day, it was like 2.5 hours of direct sunlight beating down on just the arm, no moving. Yeah, it was, I felt it. Yeah, I'm starting to peel too.
Now, here's the real question. The question is, were you able to fit all of her crap into those 2 vehicles and get them back to the house?
Absolutely.
Nice.
She even had a bike for town and her computer chair. We brought that back too. So
Man, that's some pretty good packing
Volkswagen
there.
bus has a lot of room, and then the minivan. We took all the seats out of all of the vehicles, so there were only 2 seats in the bus and 2 seats in the van, and the whole back was empty. Packed it full of crap. Packed the bus full of crap, and back to Augusta we went.
Nice. So she's just living at home until further notice.
She got to get a damn job. Yeah. Time for her to get a damn job. She's working on it. To be honest,
well.
she is actually, besides doing her animation stuff, she is quite the VTuber. She is on twitch.tv/Rengelic, RAENGELIC, I believe. And she's got quite a little VTube community that she's got built up around it.
What is VTube?
Virtual YouTubers. It's an avatar, kind of like the very first thing that I had was just an avatar, except
Right.
that's the entire
Yeah.
persona that's on there is the VTuber persona.
Interesting. I have not heard of this. I mean, obviously, I saw your avatar when you were doing it, several weeks ago or whatever. But interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Just
if
building up an audience there. Okay.
yeah, so as you know, people can check her out and take a watch. Yeah, and she's somewhat successful, and she's just getting better. She uses her art; all of her art assets are all custom created. She made everything. She's even done the full 3D model and the rigging for her motion capture. So when she moves around, her little avatar moves around, and when she smiles, the ears perk up and the eyes light up and everything. She's
That's cool.
quite amazing at that part. So yeah, it'd be nice to see a little income from that. Well, at least in her bank account.
Cool. Well, I believe Jerry, when he starts in the fall, is going to be doing. Do you know the name of the actual name of the course there?
I don't remember the name right now, but it's like multimedia game development stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's going to be starting on in that at the Community College of Allegheny County, CCAC.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, that's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
If you feel like reaching out to Ayla, I can get you the information to reach out to her if you want to talk to her about some of the 3D stuff that she's done and see if maybe you could pick her brain or see, if she's even interested in talking. She hadn't got a damn job yet. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't either, so
She's been home 2 days.
Yeah, I'm really impressed that she
Okay, good.
stuck through going to SCAD. She worked
Yeah,
her
that's
ass
cool.
off. Between junior and senior year of high school, she actually went to the SCAD Rising Star program, took her first college course before she was even out of high school. And when it came time for leaving high school and going to SCAD, she didn't even have to apply. They were like, you need to come to us. Come on. Just come on. So I think they ended up giving her a partial tuition, partial scholarship for tuition. I think it covered room and board and a meal plan as well, I think. Not
Dang.
absolutely certain because Christy's the better half is better at the money than I am. So she handled all of the coordination on getting Ayla into college and as far as the financial side, and I was more of the strong arm, I'm gonna put this in a van kind of thing. Let me tighten up that chain on your rug.
Yeah.
Whenever I applied for CCAC, I think I got accepted into the school like not even a few hours later, maybe like the next day. So
Nice.
pretty quick and painless there. So it was
Congrats. Yeah, that's gonna
That's
be
not
awesome.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, Ayla is so far she's the first out of our family to have a degree. My mom, of course, had a degree, but she had a degree in biology and ended up going into programming. Well, technically she had a degree, but she
Interesting.
didn't do anything with it. I guess it was just, I
Yeah.
see you have a degree. That means you did college. So yeah, you're a computer programmer now. I don't think Dad had
Cool.
one, and I don't think any of the grandparents had one. My better half's side, I think her sister had a degree, but other than that, Ayla's pretty much, yes, like, I don't even want to get into that. That's the whole thing. But Ayla is the first, it's considered a first line degree or first generation degree because she's the first one to have it. And then when Aiden ends up going to college, he'll be a first generation degree as well.
Well,
Sounds fun.
you guys will get a kick out of this. So, my dad, who has since passed away, but my dad and his brother, Larry, Uncle Larry and I have always been close there because he we all lived with my grandparents at one time, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we kind of grew up with him, and then he married Becky. So, you know, we were all real close, and they had 2 kids, Evan and Ryan. Okay. So there's me and there's my sister and there's Evan and Ryan. And we've all been like super close. I mean, we've, you know, it's just been relatively recently that we've been close back to them again, you know, when Patty and I moved to Pittsburgh again. But you know, we've always been real close and visited whenever we can and all this stuff. So this is leading somewhere. So my sister got her doctorate several years ago.
Wow.
My cousin Evan got his doctorate in ancient philosophy several years back. My cousin Ryan got his doctorate in something having to do with music. He's like an orchestra conductor.
Oh, gotcha.
And then there's me.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. I don't even have. Oh man, you went all green over there. I don't even have like a certificate from anywhere. I mean, I guess up, but that doesn't really.
And at this point, I will have like 2 diplomas and like 1 or 2 certificates, and then I'll be getting my associates, I think, whenever I graduate from CCAC. So that's nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So
So yeah,
paper material to go off of.
I'm the underachiever. I'm the way underachiever of the
family.
I know that
I'm
feeling.
like, oh well, you know, at least Tom has his master's. No, Tom doesn't even have a degree in anything. So, you know.
All I heard growing
That's
up
all
was,
right.
you need to get a degree. And I'm like, Ma, you got a degree in biology, and you did what? Not biology? So how did that help you?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, they don't. I'll give them a hard time about it sometimes. In fact, my cousin Ryan might actually be paying me a visit here in the next month or so, and we're going to do a classical music show for Signal to Noise. We're going to record a show and do a classical music show because he's you know, he's way more versed in the classical music than I am. I own a good bit of classical. But I mean, I don't know really a whole lot about it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I enjoy listening to it. But you know, I know Bach and Beethoven, of course, and Beethoven and you know, Rachmaninoff and whatnot. But I really don't know. I really am not well versed in classical music, and he is. So basically, I'm going to have him come over here, dig through the LPs, dig through the CDs, and we'll put together a playlist from that. And then, you know, we'll just play a song or 2 and talk about it and have some fun. I'm looking forward to having him over here and being on the air with him because he's quite knowledgeable in those type of things. So on another topic completely, well, why not? So the 16th and 17th of this month, actually, hang on, let me verify this so I'm not talking out of my ass. So yes, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. There is I don't want to call it a festival. There is a gathering at a farm property down in Virginia. They do a annual big shindig every year. Well, that's why it's annual, I guess. But they do a big thing every year. But last year they didn't do it because, you know, COVID. And this year they're like, well, things aren't quite back to normal yet. So they're not doing it this year either. They're just doing another virtual event. But they are doing a smaller gathering, and it's free. And there's going to be dancing and music and this and that and the other thing. My buddy Ted is going to do he's going to do a DJ set of Balkan dance music. And that's just going to be, yeah, I know that was the first time I was like, what? Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be, I don't know how long the set's going to be, but he's going to do a DJ set of Balkan dance music. And I am going down, I'm taking some of my equipment with me, and I'm going to record this set and interview him and interview a couple of folks down there and put a show together for Signal to Noise, obviously. So I will actually, not only will I not be here on the 16th, 17th, 17th, 18th, let's see, 17th is a Thursday, so I'll miss that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll be back on Sunday at some point. I'm hoping I'll be back in time so Jerry and I can do the Forge. But I'll be back on Sunday at some point. So we won't be recording on the 17th because I just won't be here. I'm going to have my buddy Rob. He's going to cover a couple of shifts for the air. But it's going to be kind of quiet around here. I mean, I'll just let the music play probably because I have started playing music 24 hours a day, by the way.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's going to be fun. I mean, it's a camping trip. So, and it's primitive camping. It's not like we're glamping. It's, they rent porta-johns and that's about the only, that's the biggest,
Like those modern thing you have there.
yeah,
Yeah.
creature comfort that you have, right? Porta-john, so you're not taking a shit in a hole in the woods somewhere. You're in a covered hole. Anyway, so I'm traveling down there, and I'm gonna set up, and I'm gonna record Ted's DJ set, and see some people because a lot of the people that are gonna be here are the same people that go to Pinsick every year, and I haven't seen them in a couple years because Pinsick last year was canceled, and it's been canceled this year. So.
Well, that
Looking
kind of
forward to
matches
that,
with
but,
my schedule as well because on the 16th, 17th, 18th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to be in Atlanta doing Aiden's second degree black belt test. It is the final exam, and it is basically boot camp. They are going to try and break him, and if he can succeed all the way through, Saturday is the graduation ceremony, and he will get his second degree black belt.
It's
Nice.
fun.
Well, I guess we'll just plan to not record the Round Table of Fools on the 17th then. Well, cool. Well, so Green, do you have any vacations or shenanigans or anything planned for the upcoming summer? Anything fun coming up?
Well, yes, I'm planning to visit some friends of mine up in Cincinnati. There is my friend TJ and his husband live in Cincinnati, and they live in a nice neighborhood. By nice, I mean very rural.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a home on the property across from them. The owners of said property just want someone in there. They're not looking to charge buckets, and their rent for the house and the property is just a little bit more than what I'm paying for here. In addition, TJ works at a bottling company, and I've asked him twice just to make sure that I'm remembering that I understood him correctly. He can get me on at the bottling company starting at $25 an hour.
Wow. Nice.
Now, wait, I'm sorry, I lied. 24 and some change.
Oh.
That goes up to 25 after like your first 3 months or something like that.
All right.
So,
Gonna be bringing in the big bucks then,
I do very much love Oregon, and Oregon is still on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
But Cincinnati has a place where I can make some money.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, money. And I could use some money.
You won't get that jerky every now and then. You won't be able to get my meat.
We'll have to ship.
You ever heard of mail?
Yeah.
Snail mail.
Don't mail me.
Oh my.
Email you jerky? Come on now.
Sorry,
Well,
I had a
if
video card crash and had to reestablish everything.
Oh, that was okay.
Right,
If you send
that's what they all
me
say.
the jerky in the mail, if you send me the jerky in the mail and it gets there and it takes too long and it starts to smell kind of strong, it's just another reason for me to make a pun and say something about it being malodorant.
Oh.
Loathe you, mean it.
That was pungent.
So it really was. So
But that's really my plan, Tommy, to be honest, is just check that out. I'm focusing on my stream.
cool.
There's a couple of other things. Pagan Tech, I want to talk to you later on about.
Okay.
Bells and whistles on the stream.
Oh yeah,
I actually had a couple people subscribe this past week,
nice.
and a couple people start sending me cheers, and I didn't even know until after I'd logged out.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I didn't even thank them. I have since, but just some little things like that. I really need. I really need to get that ironed out because I'm
Little
approaching
grab your
500.
like that.
I'm sorry.
So just some tweaks to sort of so those sort of things can grab your attention or whatever, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm approaching 500 followers,
Oh, all right.
and it's taken a while, and I've had to work at it, and I really need to up my game now that I'm comfortable with the tech, and I am tech. There's still just so much to. I'm using the slobs. I'm beginning to wonder if I shouldn't try just OBS.
OBS
I've
is
had a
very
lot of people watching me
easy.
lately, and a lot of people have said OBS would be easier.
Yeah, I've
And
been kind of asking
and it's
around
free
about
too. So.
Yeah,
Well,
and
so
a
is
lot of people.
Streamlabs,
Yes.
but Streamlabs does have a subscription portion of their service. So, but OBS is the open source broadcasting software. Literally, it's in the name, and it's open source. You can really use it however you want to use it. And to be honest, I do know about what you're looking for, but if you really want to reach out to somebody who knows, that's Ayla. She has that. She's got the bells and whistles and dings and bloops and all the fun stuff that the cheers. She knows all about that.
I don't even remember what we were talking. Oh, we were talking about broadcasting. Oh, so one thing that I need to do, one of my projects among the 7,000 that I've got to do for the radio station, I want to get my YouTube channel for STN up and running, and just do basically techie stuff on it, not anything really music related, but equipment, microphones, blah blah blah. I need to do that. But Pagan Tech, as I understand it, you think you may possibly have a lead on a video card? As I
Kinda,
understand it?
yeah. We'll have to see how it boils out towards the middle of the month, but I think I might have a lead on a video card.
Oh, very nice. A new video card or a used
Yep,
one?
new.
Oh,
From what I
all right,
understand,
well.
it's new in box.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to scoop it from you or anything, but fingers crossed for you for that, because
Appreciate it.
those things are what's the expression, rare as hen's teeth these
Yeah,
days, or at least
yeah.
one that you're not $2,000 for or something,
Right. No, I'm not paying $2,000 for it.
No.
I
I mean,
know.
I told you the saga of when I was assembling stuff or doing research for my computer.
Yeah.
I could find everything I wanted except for video cards. They were just nowhere to be found. And if there was a halfway decent one, and if it was actually in stock, that's $1,700. It's like, oh, I don't think so.
No.
But and I think Jerry and I kind of lucked up when we went to Cleveland a while back, and they had just gotten some in, and they had not sold out of them quite yet. So he got a decent an MSI. What is it?
GeForce 1660. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
You might, Jerry. You might want to be careful about Kylo back there. He looks like he's eyeballing you and going, "What you doing?" So, what you doing?
He's
Oh,
being
you
much-
doing?
Seriously,
But
yeah, he's eyeballing him. He's kind of got that head cocked to the side, like,
yes.
so.
Like-
what's that new card you got?
I don't know if I have the power to do what I need to do.
Those are some nice headphones. It's a shame. Be a shame if something happened to them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, all right. Well, let me see. Anything? I think we can probably start winding down. Anything coming up this weekend that we should know about? You guys going to be streaming? What's going to be going on?
I'm going to be streaming.
Sweet. All right.
I actually have disaster recovery planning after hours all weekend long.
Oh, that sucks.
We're going to be doing the prep, and we're going to actually be taking some of the servers offline, doing recovery scenarios, and
I don't like that type of thing at all. Not for you, not for anybody, because inevitably one of them servers ain't going to come back up, and you guys are going to be shit out of luck and have to sit there and figure out why that thing didn't come back up and try to get it back up before start of business Monday morning.
well, fortunately, everything that we have is in VMware. It's all vSphere stuff. Everything that we have currently runs a snapshot backup scenario, and
Good.
our primary servers have what's called recovery point for VM, which is a one button transition from site to site. So,
Oh.
and I think there's only a 25-second delta that is, if something's changed within 25 seconds, it writes it to the other location. And so if like a primary facility goes down, we could log into the web page that has the stuff. We could turn all the other stuff on at another location. It'll come up right away.
Sweet. You got everything, all the important stuff at a colo, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, well, the last place I was working, we used a colo. I don't know where the servers are, where I am now. That's above my pay grade. And to be perfectly honest, as long as everything's working, I really don't care where they keep those things, as long as they, and if they go down, it ain't my responsibility to bring them back up. So who cares?
We all have our
right.
responsibilities at the place, and I'm like, okay. I think about the disaster recovery a little bit more because I'm used to thinking disaster recovery, and I keep throwing scenarios and they're like, well, it's just, the shit has hit the fan. What are we going to do? I was like, well, what kind of shit and how is it hitting the fan? Because there's different scenarios.
And did it hit? That's what I need to know.
That's right.
Oh man. All right. Well,
but it's a good team.
Does anybody have...
I like who I work with, so
That's good.
I'm okay with it. It's just it's a weekend, and I really kind of wanted to do some stuff with Ayla, and it's just
Well, I kind of hate it for you, but unfortunately, in this day and age, that kind of stuff just has to be done. It's just
another check mark in the process.
Yeah, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure or whatever. Yeah, so it's one of those kind of deals, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Well, since I've got your attention, why don't you go ahead and plug your stuff there one more time?
Oh, sure. So most likely you're watching this on YouTube /Pagan Tech. I think it's youtube.com/Pagan Tech, PAGANTEK. Most of you who are watching this on YouTube know who I am, and if you don't, well, hey, drop a subscribe or smash that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications to know when I come online or when I post something that's new. On YouTube, I'm posting all kinds of stuff. Usually it's photography or something related to that or this. But I also have twitch.tv/Pagan Tech, PAGANTEK. That's where I do most of my game streams, and usually something like Flight Sim or Kerbal or No Man's Sky or something sciencey or spacey.
Awesome. And soon you will hopefully not have to worry about video card crashes.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing. Monsieur Green Bear. I'm gonna have to learn how to say Green Bear in French. But anyway, Green Bear, what do you have?
Oh, it's easy. You go. Green Bear.
Let's see. I do have things I'm still wanting to work on. I'm wanting to do my drum streams, my music streams. I've got a number of things that I do want to do. I'm considering doing maybe some cooperative writing with some people, online, on stream.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
City of Heroes, streaming a game, City of Heroes, Warframe, just chatting. I love chat streams; those are fun.
Sweet.
And just I'm going day by day, trying to see where things go. And I still plan to do VR streaming on Thursdays after this.
Oh, right, okay.
But I'm not sure when I'm going to do that.
Not sure when I'm going to
get around to doing that.
Tonight it's novel writing on Essex, and he's written the definite article, The Dennis. Yes, he's written a definite article, there's been 2 of him with its, there's been 1 but 2 ats and interluminaries. Of course, that one didn't sell very well.
And a Dolores.
I think I'm just going to watch Monty Python all weekend now. Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, so Jerry, I know we're in a tizzy around here getting ready for your graduation next week, so that's gonna be
Not possible.
real. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not possible.
seriously?
He's
Yeah.
still in diapers. He's still in diapers and has to be put on a table to be changed.
That's
Oh, man.
disgusting.
All right.
God.
Let's see, 7th, that's Monday. That's actual rehearsal, but then the
Monday is the
ceremony
rehearsal.
itself is on the 8th. It's Tuesday. Okay.
Unless it's bad weather, and then they move it indoors, and it's on the 9th. Is that correct? Or
Maybe.
they're gonna. I think that's what the plan is. Rehearsals on the 7th. The 8th is the graduation, unless the weather's crappy, and then they'll move it indoors and do it on the 9th. I think that's what I understand. I could be completely wrong though, so listen to your mother for these things, not me, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's hard to do that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Well, cool. Well, as far as Signal to Noise Radio, like I said, we got a brand new DJ starting. She's already submitted her show to me. I have to sort of stitch that together. But that premieres Saturday at 7 p.m. sharp. Following that will be the dance party. We usually play 3 or 4 hours of dance music, hip hop, trance, EDM, dubstep, pretty much anything that has a dance beat we'll play. And then, let me see. We kick off Friday with the Friday Free for All, and then Friday at 9 is the Reverend Robert Evil. He plays 3, sometimes 4 hours of Goth and Industrial. So that's always a good show. Sundays, of course, is Brunch with the Beatles 11, hosted by my lovely wife Patty Kay. And then Sunday evening at 6, Jerry and I host the Forge. Yeah, we've got a hilarious commercial that we did for that. But anyway, and then after the Forge is over, we play the Round Table of Fools, which I will be editing probably starting tomorrow. But so yeah, the weekends are always a hoot around here. A hoot.
Yeah, who's to say?
So yeah, that's what's coming up. It's just going to be a regular weekend for us. But like I said, I will be out of town 17th, 18th, 19th, and coming back on the 20th from a camp out in the woods, where oddly I'll be recording a DJ set of Balkan music. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting time. Well, I think if that is it, we shall wrap it up. Does anybody have any final words?
Sasquatch.
Maybe he meant the.
Oh, a complex words.
Yeah. All right. Well, for anybody listening on Signal to Noise, thanks for tuning in and putting up with our randomness for the last, not quite 2 hours, because we did take a 10-minute break there. But thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And take it away, Pagan Tech.
Well, there's a logo in the center of your screen. It's got the links that you can see. Well, it's got the actual words for the links, but you can't click them because it's solid. It's part of the video. But the links for everything except for the actual YouTube channel that you're watching. And what that means is I want to thank you for sticking around for the Round Table of Fools. These idiots, Nedkapoops, and ne'er-do-wells have wasted enough of your time, and we're headed off to the sunset for tonight. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Are we Bitty Bun?